It's the home of the game, the financial capital of a nation which boasts the greatest number of amateur, club and professional rugby players of any country. And with the England team management the architects of victories over both New Zealand and Australia in the last 2 years, it's game on.
London is one of the cities that is lined up to host Rugby World Cup matches where hopefully our Bokke will become the first team to hoist the Webb Ellis Trophy for an historic third time. First things first though, let's go on a bit of a fan walk, starting with a look at the UK's leading city from one of its latest vantage points.
87 stories up, the Shard takes its inspiration from the spires of London churches and the masts of tall ships which birthed on the River Thames in the 18th century. If you're going to get your bearings over this fascinating city, then Jeremy Brinkworth suggests this is where to start.
As we draw closer to the Rugby World Cup kick-off, we know what the competing teams are going to be going through, but what can the fans expect?
Oh, well, I think first of all, a really warm welcome. There are going to be 400 to 500,000 coming in from overseas, 2 million plus in total, so it's going to be a great party. And obviously there's so many things to see and do while people are here, as well as going to the games themselves if they're lucky enough to have tickets.
That's a massive amount of people coming into the city. How will you handle them all?
Well, of course, it's not just London, because the great thing about the Rugby World Cup is that there are 10 host cities all around England, from the north to the south and the west, plus Cardiff. So that actually the visitors will be spread out. A lot will come to London, but they'll be going all over the country.
Well, we're quite confident that South Africa will make it to the finals here in London, but which other cities will they be touching down in?
Well, we think the Springboks have got a really good itinerary because they're going to have a grand tour of England. They're starting in Brighton on the day after the opening ceremony, which is an excellent place to be on the beach. Then up to Birmingham, which is England's second city in the Midlands. Following that, up to Newcastle in the north, and then back down to London and the Olympic Stadium. So great opportunity to see a lot of the country. Can
you imagine if England and South Africa met in the final? Oof, that would be good. Remember what happened the last time we clashed?
I remember the last time, but I think 2015 might have a different outcome.
That's debatable. Shall we have a look around?
Much of today's art, fashion, music, science, architecture, and of course sport has its origins in and around London. So between rugby games, you couldn't get more value than this dynamo of culture.
What's in store for the fans who can't make it to the stadia?
So a good place to go for fan zone for the last game is the Olympic Stadium, where South Africa are going to be playing the USA. There'll be entertainment, music, food and drink, really good atmosphere, and it's a really nice place to have a fan zone.
I'm going to get off to that right now. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Top billing was last at this stadium for the 2012 Summer Games, and since then, the Queen Elizabeth II Olympic Park has put on its rugby boots.
So Peter, the site of this park and the stadium has been completely repurposed.
Oh yes, if we'd been standing here 10 years ago, we'd have been in the middle of a rubbish dump. There were piles of fridges, there was light industry, but it was transformed for the Olympic Games for 2012, and now we've transformed it again. It's Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, and in the autumn of 2015, the Rugby World Cup is coming here. Talk
about going from a rubbish dump to a fan park. That's such a winning situation.
Yes, you can go into the stadium if you've got your tickets and see the rugby, but we're hoping to host one of the fan zones as well. And there's plenty more to do in the park. You'll be able to enjoy the fan zone, but don't forget, if people are coming here for the Rugby World Cup, there's a fantastic swimming pool to go and have a swim in. There's the ArcelorMittal Orbit Tower to go up, and a whole range of things to enjoy.
What happens to this area after the Rugby World Cup?
Well, the park is open as a public park and the stadium will change again. We've got some more work to do and then it'll reopen as a football stadium. West Ham will have their home here, but we'll also be hosting concerts and all sorts of other interesting and exciting events.
Now I need to put you on the spot, young man, and ask you this question. Who do you think is going to win the Rugby World Cup 2015?
Oh, well, loyalty dictates I have to say England, but of course we wish South Africa the very best of luck. Whatever happens, hundreds of thousands of people are going to come here and have a whale of a time, and we look forward to welcoming them to our park.
Thanks, Peter. I'm going to continue with my walk.
Okay.
Camden Market is a multicultural bazaar of all things British, style, attitude and pop culture. But at its heart lies a very South African part of British history.
And when you inevitably start feeling homesick, just head on over to Camden Town, where Shaka Zulu will have you covered with the tastes and flavours of home.
Opened 5 years ago, it's London's largest South African restaurant. And at over 8,000 square meters in size, you could almost host a rugby international in here too.
Yo, Stephen, how is it that the King of the Zulus found his way to Camden Town of all places?
The founder, Roger Payne, as a young boy, grew up in South Africa and brought a bit of it to the UK. And now we're doing the Rugby World Cup, where we're going to have large groups of South Africans. We're just going to party all night.
What does go down at Shaka Zulu?
This is a mass production building. I mean, we do anything up to 1,800 covers a week. In terms of the restaurant and clubbing, you can have both. And it's just a big, big party venue.
Well, I'm really keen for a taste of home now, so shall we go and get some?
A 6-meter-high statue of the famed warrior king dominates a venue full of carved murals of Zulu culture. Popular with London's younger set, it features a menu that to locals is exotic, to South Africans home comfort, and to any palate irresistible.
Whoa, what an amazing, impressive platter.
This is what we want to create on the day, on game day at Shaka Zulu, basically bringing a bride to a board.
What can our fellow South Africans expect when they pull in to Shaka Zulu?
We're a big venue, a party venue, so I mean you can come for a great meal and obviously have a nice club evening afterwards and celebrate when South Africa wins all their games.
Well, enough rugby talk, let's tuck in, shall we?
If our Springboks are feeling a little heat themselves right now, they're working on it. We don't want them undercooked going into the grand tournament that awaits in 4 weeks.
Bustling London and her many citizens are 100% ready for Rugby World Cup 2015. The vibe is amazing and the Springboks are looking in top form. All that's missing now is you.